What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Powerhouse Mentality Podcast. I'm your host. I'm Caitlin Kenneth Smith, and today's episode is for my energy drink addicts and the people who think every can is the same, because I'm sitting down with Tom, one of the founders of Misfit Energy, and if you've been following me for more than 5 seconds, you probably already know I talk about Misfit all the time because they're one of the most underrated energy drinks on the market. And here's why this conversation is different. They don't just slap a label on a can and call it premium. They make everything in-house: formula, flavors, testing, the entire process. No giant manufacturer, no send it to the flavor house and pray. We talk about how Misfit originally started as an idea for a flavored water, why their formula is packed with legit, well-studied patent ingredients, how they think about flavor so it doesn't just taste like sadness, the real behind-the-scenes process of competing in a market where big companies basically buy the shelf space, and a little sneak peek at what's coming next. So if you're into energy drinks, business, branding, or you just love hearing about how something real gets built from scratch, this episode is for you. So let's get into it. Tom, welcome to the podcast.
Great. Thanks for having me. Yeah, I'm stoked.
Absolutely. And for those of you who don't know who Tom is, because most people are like, who's Tom? This is one of the owners and the founders of Misfit Energy. And if you don't know Misfit Energy, then you don't follow me on social media because I talk about them all the time. They're literally one of the most underrated energy drinks. And I don't think I've ever had a flavor of yours where I was disappointed or let down.
That's so nice to hear. I have a flavor that I can't even be in the shop when we make it. But other than that, I also enjoy them.
I haven't tried them all, so I can't say that they're all perfect, but even flavors that I wouldn't normally like gravitate towards, I'm like, I would drink this.
Yeah, I think our approach to flavors is really, we want something that comes in, hits with what you would expect, and then goes away, right? So you want that next sip. Not really like long lingerers, try not to have a lot of an aftertaste. And then I really want to nail that sweetness. It's zero sugar, but it shouldn't have to taste like that diet soda.
Yeah, everybody knows that iconic Diet Coke taste that just like sits in your tongue for the rest of the day.
Just disappointment is what
Literally. Yep. And unfortunately, a lot of energy drinks have fallen into that category over the years where it's just like you take a sip of it and you have this expectation that it's going to taste like this thing, and then it doesn't. We're getting better, I feel. As with everything like protein bars, protein powders, the whole industry as a whole with supplements and energy drinks is starting to improve. But you guys came out of nowhere as far as like my radar. What was like the exact moment where you were like, why don't we make an energy drink? Like, where did that come from?
Okay, so here's the backstory, and I'll try to be like super brief, but this is like a 6-year project. Like I would say 7 years in, right? Steve carrying the torch for the majority of that, right? So all credit to Steve. Steve is what I like to say, like the heart and soul. And he and I probably linked up, I'd say 5 years ago on his porch after we were friends in high school. So whatever, friends coming out in and out of proximity, and we had just reconnected. And he's like, hey, you're a project guy. I need help like converging effort into like linear process. Can you help there? Can we work together from a process perspective and help me coalesce this? And we were talking about a water. We were talking about a flavored water, but it was going to be naturally flavored, tastes really crisp, kind of like a juice, but more like on the hydration thing.
Right.
When we got into pasteurization and that whole like microbe control, it went from being a delicious, fresh blueberry drink to this like cardboardy, horrible brown. And so it went on the table, and then we churned on that. And then I think we just decided energy drinks would be fun. We knew it was a super crowded market, but it had a ton of flexibility for like art, right?
Yeah.
Formula, flavors, like packaging. It was like fun. And then once you have an established brand, then you get more into the marketing. What are you highlighting your customers? Like, what are you leaning into for things that are fun and exciting for your brand? And yeah, like I said, he's the kind of art and science, and I try to be a little bit of the path guy, and a really good dynamic. And I'm incredibly thankful for like how we came together and how we've moved into this.
That's something that not a lot of people talk about when it comes to business and building something great, is that generally there's two people who do the work, right? There's the creative mind, like the science, like Steve, and then you have the person who's making shit happen, like steering the ship in a sense, where it's like more of the business side of things, right? Because it
Yeah,
doesn't matter how great an idea is if we're not like actually bringing it to market and making these things happen and executing upon it. But it's
yeah,
actually really interesting that you started thinking like, maybe we do flavored water. And I love what you said about the energy drinks because it really is an art. It's not just the flavor, it's also, does it have a great formula? Is the
yep,
packaging, is it going to capture somebody's attention if they're in the gas station or if they're in a store? Because
sure,
if your energy drink is just a black can, it's not going to capture as much attention, right? You
right.
have these colors that are popping out and stuff like that. And you have so many different flavors too. So you've really started doing the energy drinks over the last 5 years.
So we
6.
started, yeah. So I would say R&D, and again, like we both had full-time jobs, and so it was like fits and starts, right? But
Yeah.
Steve got really smart on process formulation, equipment, all like
Hmm.
the engineering side, right? And we learned together on okay, what's a formula that makes sense? And I just kind of want to go back. So Steve, art science, but he also has great what I'd call like intuition. And I'm like more of a what's the data say? And we
Yeah.
have a really good healthy tension, right? And I'll cross into the flavor and art and lane, but as more of a contributor, right? And he crosses into my lane as more, hey, conceptually, I believe we should be here. What do you? So we have a really good like healthy tension and challenge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what it sounds like a great dynamic that you guys have going on.
it does. And like, I don't know about you or your listeners, but when you're at work or working on a project, you have to be around these people for a lot of your life.
Yeah.
So it is it's an incredible gift when you like the other person or you guys can work together, right?
Yeah. It's like when you pick a partner for life, like you have to be able to go with them through the highs and the lows because there's going to
Yeah,
be a lot of like emotions that come with building a business. And a lot of people, what they do is they're just like, oh, well, I'm going to go into business with my best friend. And then it usually goes to shit because they didn't have the business dynamic. They were just cool
sure.
outside of stuff like that.
Yeah. And like I said, we challenge, and this has been a whole growth thing. And we're still like moving into defined roles. And I think what's fun is we know where each other's good. Like we know where each other has skill.
Yeah.
And so we're deferring to each other on things and challenging when necessary. But it's turned into a really fun project. So it's enjoyable, right? All the challenges, every next step is like a fun problem to solve. And we're lucky because some of the people that we work with are just fantastic, right? It's that whole, if you're going to have to be around people, you want them to be cool people. And
Mm-hmm.
we're pretty blessed in that sense from our influencer side, from our like store owners, from our distributing partners. We have some really good relationships that we're very thankful for.
Yeah. And it's so important to be passionate about something, especially something like building a business where it is stressful, right? You
Yeah,
can't deny that there are some days where it's, wow, this kind of sucks, but all of it has a purpose because it's like we're trying to build this passion that we have. And were you into energy drinks before, or was it just like you just hopped on board?
no, I like so we both drank them, right?
Yeah,
I am and will always be a coffee lover too, right? I just
of course. There's room for both here at the
there
party.
is. Unfortunately, my caffeine tolerance doesn't allow for both in the day, so it's
Same.
either a coffee day or an energy drink day.
Yeah.
And but what we saw was okay, there's some really cool brands, but nothing, I never felt any brand loyalty to anything.
Yeah.
There's
Hmm.
nothing that says this is who I am or I just don't feel that, right? The ones that I liked were in terms of like formula. I drink Ghost, but I found some of their flavors were a little bit either too over the top or like the acid was tough for me. But I think Ghost does a really good job of flavor. I like the Gorilla Mind formula, but it feels sometimes when I drink it, it feels a little too intense. So it's like this weird.
Yeah.
We wanted something that was like in this functional space, but not over the top. And I think over the top is exaggerating. So something like a daily doser, right? Is where I was
Yeah.
going. Yeah.
I get that because you're right. There are some energy drinks out there where I like them, but I can't have them every day because whether it be the flavor's too intense or the formula is just not what I'm looking for. And I think that over the last couple of years, a lot of brands have moved more towards doing more functional ingredients. You guys just, I don't think I've ever seen an energy drink with so many dosed, well studied ingredients, like a lot of patent ingredients that you guys are using. How did you
Yeah.
come up with that formula?
So again, like we want so the brand for us is we wanted something that was quality,
Yeah.
right? And then the whole I'm a little older. We come from that like authentic generation, right? We want everything to be authentic. Like we want to be transparent. We want to be
I
honest.
love that. That's how it should be.
Yeah. So if we're putting something in there, we want it to have a purpose, right? We've toyed with like upping the L-theanine, do get to that 1-to-1 with caffeine. But yeah, so everything was intentional. We found Cognizant, right? And we're like, okay, high quality maker. We have great studies. The data is there. And again, it's a supplement we believe in. Same with L-theanine by Alpha. It's just believe in it. I think the other subs are also have their purpose. Bearded Gorilla did a great reel on like citrulline and like why it's important and how it works. That's again, that was all Steve's side. He gives me the talking points and I go out and sell it. But
Yeah.
then that was in the beginning. And then as you start drinking it, you start to feel it.
Yeah. Did you come up with the formula like before you started getting to flavoring? Was this the first thing you came up with, and did you change it at all, or has it been like the same since the beginning?
I think we just decided it was like it all like converged, right? We knew
Yeah.
our base formula and then we had to have a drink that we liked the flavors of. And we came out like simple, like no risk. Our first four flavors were peach mango, blueberry cake, limelight, which is lime fizzy, and then I think sweet green apple.
Okay. Hey, I would say those are a little bit different. Like I said, never seen a blueberry cake on the market before. And that was the thing that captured my attention when you guys like messaged me and I was like looking through all your flavors. I was like, blueberry. Yeah. How many flavors do you guys even have at this point?
If you exclude the LTOs, right? So
yeah.
we did Winterberry, we did 2026, and then we did Spider Bite. So if you take
Spider
those
Bite was money, by the way.
Like that?
So good, Spider Bite. Oh.
I like that one too. Kind of like a handful of Skittles, right? It's crunching up a handful.
Yeah. Nailed it too.
We wanted candy, right? It's Halloween, so basket of candy. But yeah, I think we have 22. I'd say 2022. Yeah, we're probably gonna sunset a couple. Yeah, to make room for some new stuff.
Nice. What are some of your best sellers? Do you know?
Yeah, so like the blues do really well, right? Everybody likes a blue, whether it's Blue Beam or Blue Raspberry. Them apples, I think, took off. For online, it's different though, right? Because I think online shoppers are like your energy drink aficionados. They want the new. They want to try and be on board with the new stuff, and they're interested in kind of the other flavors. So in that space, key lime pie, umbrella drink, them apples, all the LTOs. In the convenience, in like grocers, it's really, I'd say the blues. And then we have a watermelon. We have like the usual suspects that move.
Nice. And then you guys do it differently than most energy drink companies. Like you're not going out and working with a manufacturer, correct?
Oh, everything's in-house.
Everything's in-house. That's actually wild. When you told me that, I couldn't believe it. But that's also why you're able to crank out these different flavors, like Winterberry doing the cooling effect on the tongue, which was really fucking cool, by the way. And taking these risks because you don't have to go through a manufacturer, get things approved. It doesn't take 15,000 years to actually get a flavor done.
No management board.
Exactly.
No process.
It's just like, hey, let's just fuck around and find out. I feel like vibe.
It is. Obviously, we're going to take calculated risks.
Of course.
Yeah, we're able to take risks. And I think at the end of the day, we're the ones tasting it.
Yeah.
And we have a core group of people that sometimes we share with to get their feel on it. And yeah, we want to be exciting. We want to stay relevant, stay exciting. And we want actually to challenge the others. I think everybody needs to step up their game. But like, I think everybody has. I think a lot of the majors have stepped up.
Yeah.
So it's a fun time. We try to balance with, we think that the populace of energy drinkers want that stimulus of new, right? Yes. So we want to stay nimble, right? The challenges with our distributors, it's like Now it's like giant ships that you have to like move slowly over time. For independent channels, it's great because we can just do it. Our stores trust us so that we can flip out some new stuff with them. But yeah, we want to be able to be nimble and keep that as we scale.
Yeah, for sure. So do you do the flavoring, or does Steve do it, or do you have somebody who's like a flavor scientist?
We do everything.
Everything. That's so cool. And
Like we have no like the only outside help I would say is I mean we'll do it like a logistics company who helps us with moving stuff, but
yeah,
this is a bootstrap company.
that's so cool and so unique because again, most people who are owning energy drink companies, founders of these companies, they don't know how to do every job in the sense where we're doing it all ourselves. They're just like, oh, I send my idea to the manufacturer, the flavor scientist does his job, we taste it, we test it, and then if it works, it sticks. But you guys know how to do every single process. And I'm assuming that you didn't just know how to do this, you had to teach yourself how to do this.
Yeah, I'm an environmental science major in like undergrad.
Yeah. Who knew you'd be formulating energy drinks?
Not even. So yeah, no, and that's the balance. And I think there's opportunity there. If the right person's out there, we know we have to scale, and part of that is personnel. I don't think Steve and I will run this by ourselves for the rest of the time. Obviously, we'll have to grow with people, and so there's the plug. If you know the right people and you think you got something to help us out with, we're all ears.
Hell yeah. I love to hear that. Now, as far as branding goes, because I know that's like a big thing too, what was the idea or the mission behind the brand when you initially launched it, other than like, hey, we want to do things right, transparent, we want to be different, have good flavors, but what about the brand itself?
Yeah, so we wanted something that people could identify with, but the definition would come from them, right? I know, again, I think there's a generational thing here, but what was cool growing up for me was like the outside counterculture, the underground,
Oh yeah.
those types of things. And I think that's misfit energy, like where you don't fit. But I also think that there's another definition that people tell us about, right? We have this woman who crochets and she makes these awesome things and she just runs her thing. She's got a great platform, great like business, but it's that could be like misfit energy, right? It's
Right.
the motorcycle wheelie guy, it's the snowboarder, but it's also just the dude or lady who just feels right that like their individuality, what they are is what's cool,
Yeah.
and maybe they tell it to the world or maybe they just know it inside, but like that misfit feeling, right, is what we're trying for. It's this like massive tent and everybody's allowed into it. Certain people shouldn't stand next to each other because they won't get along, but everybody should have a spot. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's the brand we wanted to build. And we
Mm-hmm.
wanted to do it different, right? We didn't want to have to be bound by just back and forth with a formulator and then back and forth with your flavor house and then minimums. And then, yeah, so I think that was the energy we were going for. And again, we just want to do this the way we want to do it. Obviously, we
Mm-hmm.
want to be successful, but we want it to be authentic and real.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's
To
so
make
big.
it, we
It's
don't ask someone else to make it.
Yeah. That's the thing that people don't realize is when you are creating something at some point, because of all the different loops that you have to jump through and all the people that you have to work with manufacturing wise, you may have to manipulate your ideas or answer to somebody else, even though it's your project
Yeah,
versus what you guys are doing, where it's our thing. We want to be successful, but we also want to do it our way, even if that means doing it differently than anybody else.
for sure. We do know that like scale plan, right? We have a good scale plan in place.
Yeah, you're not just like flying at the seat of your pants. I trust that.
That will require co-packing at some point. I don't
Oh
think
yeah.
we're going to become some giga plant, but again, when we do that, it's going to be very intentional and it's going to be highly controlled so that the output matches our current output in terms
Yep.
of quality.
Yeah, because that's another thing that people that happens is sometimes you'll have a really great product and then when it starts like going massive and it starts getting on different shelves and you're in the Walmarts and your Targets and all these things, it starts to go down. and it's never the same. I've had that happen with a lot of companies who were like really small brands, and then I'm like excited that they're in my store now and I try it and it's not the same. And I feel like that's the thing that you guys always want to be in control of, is making sure that the quality from day one is exactly what you want it to be throughout the entire journey.
100%.
Now, do you guys have any ideas to change formulas or anything, or are you very happy with where you're at?
That's a great question. We've always said that one of the great things about our brand is the flexibility. So yeah, we are definitely talking about maybe changing the caffeine dosage. Again, I'm caffeine sensitive, right? I can have one energy drink a day or I can have a coffee a day. And that's frustrating to me because I love the flavor and I wish I could have two, right? I want to have two. So we go with a half caff, right? I think I love the idea of no stim, but functional. I think that's a fun idea. But again, those are going to be things that are more of a side project for when we got to stay fed with our current distributor base and store base, and you're always fighting for slides and spots.
Oh yeah.
So that's probably more of a side project or LTO type.
Yeah, it's like, see how it goes, and if it hits, and then we can run with it or not. And that's, again, one of the cool things about doing your own thing is if you have an idea, you want to try it, you try it, it doesn't work, you can pull it, versus wasting millions of dollars and advertising and all this stuff on it. Do you guys have plans, or do you want to rather go into bigger retailers, or do you want to be more of just like a small niche brand?
No, we definitely have the goals of chain stores like the C stores, the convenience stores. We want anybody to be able to walk into their neighborhood shop and get it. Yeah, for sure. That is absolutely on the plan, and that would be a wonderful place to be for us. We get messages sometimes through Instagram or store, hey, where can I find you? And I'll shoot them the map and they'll be like, oh, I got one right down the road. That's a fun feeling, and I think we'd love to be in that place. So any distributors listening, if we can make the numbers work, put us on.
Oh yeah. And if you're a Misfit lover who's listening too, talk to the people at your local convenience stores and see what you need to do to get distributors to get noticed by Misfit. Because at the end of the day, there's so many energy drinks on the market. It's what people would call a saturated market. But 100%. I feel that there are few brands that are actually doing it right. The more that I do what I'm doing as far as creating content around energy drinks and researching different things, I realize how many brands just fucking suck.
Well, and look, I don't want to slam any other brands, but there's one on the market that has absolute incredible penetration, but it's just the money behind it when you look at the product. But it's the age old, right? If someone has an incredible marketing machine and a subpar product, and this group has a great product but a less than effective marketing machine, this will win every time. Will it have like cult following? Will it have deep loyalty? Probably not. And I think what we're trying to do is bridge this into this, right?
Yeah.
Build the deep loyalty, build that cult following, because people believe in the brand, believe that it's the right product for them. And then that funds the marketing to get into that more casual space.
And that's a great way to approach it. And I think so many people are so worried about having success now that they forget to actually create a culture, to create a community, to build trust within the people who are buying their product. That's actually like the slower way to do it, but it's the more sustainable way to do it. And eventually you're going to grow, and the other person who's doing it the wrong way might not, or might stall, or might have to start pulling flavors or start pulling different things. And unfortunately, there is like a lot of that goes into, I was on a podcast and we were talking about what makes a supplement brand more premium. And I said, at the end of the day, a lot of the times a premium supplement brand, they just have premium marketing and premium influencers who are pushing their products.
Where you want, it's actually the premium quality that drives it. Correct. Right? The premium outcome that it facilitates, right? Yeah. It's interesting. It really is. And it's on one end, you can take it as like a headwind, but in others, it's like this challenge that you get to unlock, and that's fun too. So we just try to have this outlook, right? And of we have the opportunity to have these challenges in our life that are fun to unlock, right? A lot of people maybe in the humdrum job and bored out of their mind, and that's just not the case here, right? So again, trying to be thankful for those things, and use that as like the push, like the
Yeah.
energy to get you going.
That perspective is so important. It's you can look at it as this sucks. Like we want to be further along. We don't have as strong marketing dollars, but it also teaches you to be way more smart with what you're doing, and you learn how to be able to make it work when you don't have all the marketing dollars.
Yeah, it stinks because we've had like great, really interesting people come through our Instagram and they're like, "Hey, I'd love your brand, I'd love your," and then it's like the dollars attached to it, and we're like, we just can't
Yep.
spend those dollars right now. I'm not saying that you're not worthy of it. It's just that we're not in a position to do it right.
Yeah, and eventually you will be. And I think that the more like I'm gonna review the V4 of blueberry cake tonight.
Oh,
It's on my
nice.
list. I'm very excited to get that. I actually got a text from my client today. Hey,
That's
there
what
you
I'm
go.
saying.
I got a text from my client today and she goes, "Okay, that Misfit blueberry cake though." And I was like, "I know. It's so good. It's so unique too." That was the first one I ever tried from you guys. And I think that was like V1 or V2 maybe. I don't remember.
Mhm.
It
Yeah,
was great. And I honestly didn't expect it to be great because you get this brand that you've never even heard of, never even seen, and you're just like, it's probably
there
gonna
are
be,
some bad ones out there.
yeah, it's gonna be pretty probably generic and stuff. And then I tried it and I was blown away. And then Cody was like, "No, you have to try the key lime." So I tried the key lime and I was even more blown away. And I was like, okay, these guys are actually legit. It's not just cool formula, but then you taste every ounce of that formula in the energy drink. It's
Right.
really great formula that you guys flavored really well, because that's another thing that people don't think about is you think about, oh, let me just load up this pre-workout or this energy drink with all of these cool nootropics and stuff, but they are really hard to flavor.
Yeah. Yep. It's a good point. And you can taste, right? Certain brands
Yeah.
have a back end taste. And I think that's the calculus, right? Is people gonna tolerate that flavor for the impact of that supplement? And at the end of the day, it was a functional blend that we think like threads that needle of like almost a pre-workout,
Yeah.
but definitely a daily, it would definitely benefit you daily,
Mhm.
right? And that's anybody. I think anybody benefits from it, as long as obviously if you're not caffeine sensitive,
Right. Little things.
all that. But yeah, again, trying to be intentional, trying to be calculated in those decisions.
Yeah, I think you guys were the first energy drink that I came across, and possibly the only one still that has citrulline in it. That
Mm-hmm.
was different. So immediately my thought was, oh, this is a pre-workout. But then I started like looking at the dosing. I'm like, oh, it's not 6 grams of citrulline that's
Right.
going to make you super pumped. Do you know the thought process behind the citrulline, or is that more of a Steve thing?
I will always defer to more of a Steve thing when it comes to supplements. Yeah, when we talked about citrulline, it was okay. If caffeine has a little bit of a constrictive event, like on your, then citrulline could be a counter to that.
That's
So
actually a good thought process. I never thought of it.
that was the process. That was the thinking behind those two. Yeah.
Nice. Let's talk about some of the hard things that people don't see about running a cool business. Were there any moments where you thought that you didn't want to do this anymore, or you wanted to quit, or really challenging moments that you've had to deal with?
Yeah, I mean, you do the whole like team dynamic, like life cycle. It's like this team comes together, storming. They're all like fighting for position dominance, like voice, and it's just like this really clunky time. And then finally,
Yeah.
everybody, okay, these are our roles. This is your role. This is my role. This is how we're going to engage with each other. And then you move on to that like last stage, which is like flow,
Yeah.
right? And there were times I think when we went back and forth on brand name. It wasn't always Misfit. We went back and forth label art. We go back and forth on everything. And again, it's as you're going through those things, you're either going to crash out and not talk to each other or have a hard time working together or working with whoever, or you're going to figure it out and it's going to build stronger relationship, stronger process. So during that storming time, it was a lot of, okay, this might be rough. If I'm the type of person I am and this person's the type of person they are, anything, those types of things. I would say that I think some of it is too, when you go into a store and you know that you're up against these companies that buy whole coolers.
So
or,
annoying.
or
It's like a
give you,
monopoly out there, man.
yeah, Coke basically says that you give me X square footage or X% of your sellable square footage and you get this price. And if you
Yep.
don't, you get this price. And it's like the mafia.
Yeah, it's something
So
people don't realize too, because there are times when I'll walk into a gas station and I never thought of it until recently when I started to really get into the energy drinks. And I'll look at the different like beers that they have or the different or like colas and stuff that they have. And I realize, oh, they don't sell Pepsi products here because Coke was like, this is my turf. Or Keurig, there's Dr. Pepper everywhere. So that means there's probably a ghost somewhere around here, like little things like that.
we had we were able to put a couple coolers into some stores, and it's funny because once you do that and you have good like placement, it's such a driver of sales.
I bet.
It just is, right? It's night and day. And again, leveraging friendships, leveraging networks in town, right? Get the space. And then the Coke reps, hey, how do I get in that cooler? And it's like, you have all of this. Why do you have to go after this now?
Go away, Coke.
The challenge is, like I said, I think it's some of them, depending on your mood and buffer, can be big and hard to deal with, and others can just be that fun puzzle you got to unlock. And fortunately, again, I have a partner who's very good at grounding, and I try to be the same for him when we get crunchy. So, yeah, again, I just go back thankful to the partnership.
Yeah. And I know the name Misfit is just such a great name for exactly what you're doing. You're trying to be different. You're trying to just stand out in a very crowded industry. And I think that you do that a lot with obviously your formula, but your flavors really stand out. As far as flavors go, were there any like really weird flavors that didn't make it to market that you guys tried out?
Yeah, they're in the R&D vault though, so
Yes,
I'm probably not going to talk about them.
They could make an appearance one day.
I am going to tease though. There is a LTO coming out that we're pretty excited about with Energy Drink City.
Oh yeah,
it'll be a collab can. They were involved in all the flavor discussion, and we think we've come up with something that's pretty special, and it's going to be exclusively through EDC for a period of time. So yeah, we're hoping that's going to kind of honor the internet community, right?
I think so.
Yeah, and we love Energy Drink City. This is like one of those fun companies that is doing something innovative and neat. And we've just been very thankful for that partnership or being able to sell our product through them. They've opened up, they've put Misfit out, like they've allowed Misfit to reach places that we weren't really reaching that well. So very thankful for them. Shout out to Devin and Darby at EDC.
Yeah, great guys. I think the coolest part too is that they allow smaller brands like yourself to have more of a platform, because how many times do I see like a brand and I'm like, oh, I kind of want to try that. But then I go to the website and I have to commit to a case, and I don't want to commit to a full case of an energy drink that I've never tried. So I'm like, hey, go to Energy Drink City. You can create your own little Misfit bundle and you can try all the different flavors. That way you're not completely committed to one flavor. And then you can go to their website if you like the flavor and buy as many cases as you need, which them apples, when I introduced it to Sean, he was like, hook me up with these guys. I was like, I got you, man. I'll slip a DM. And he is obsessed with your them apples flavor. And it is so good. To me, it tastes like I just took a bite out of a Honeycrisp apple, a really cold one. That's like the vibe I get.
Yeah, it's a good flavor. I love it too. Like I said, there's only one flavor I can't be in the room when it's being made. It's sweet green apple.
Are you just not a green apple guy?
I was until like green apple pucker shots and like too many of them, and then the ultimate like purge.
Yeah, everybody has those stories, right? There's so many people who can't do anything cinnamon because they had too much Fireball.
Sure, and that's absolutely what it is for me. But I think that flavor, again, that was one of our first. We think that one could go back into the vault and come out a little stronger as something else. I think that is probably going to get looked at this year. So sweet green apple might go back into moratorium. So if people like it, get it while it's hot, because it's probably
stock up.
Yeah. I mean, we just want to have a core flavor, core flavors that rotate slowly, and then some fast intros and extros. Maybe it's a 4 flavors a quarter type rotation or something like that. But we just are building along that. We have a bunch of flavors in the clip. That's all I'm going to say. And they're ready to go, like as is. It's just about like when do we release them and how do we manage it into the.
Yeah, it's got to make sense. And I think I love that idea that you have the core foundational flavors, but then you are doing like a lot of LTOs, and that keeps things exciting. Because I know for me, it's when I see somebody drop a new flavor, it gets my attention back on that brand. If I wasn't paying attention to Gorilla Mind and they drop a new flavor, all of a sudden I'm paying attention to Gorilla Mind. Same thing with you guys. It's like I love their flavors, and then all of a sudden they drop this winter berry with a cooling effect, which is so crazy and so different than anything I've ever seen before. And it actually has a cooling effect. So well done.
We that was a tough batch of samples.
I bet. So it's like a fine line between having it have the cooling effect and then not wanting it to be like a menthol.
Hall's cough drop.
Yeah. Ooh, yum. Hall's cough drops. I definitely want to drink that all day.
Yeah, it's cool. But again, like that's the fun of the brand is, we can take those calculated risks. And we want to be saying to the whole energy drink space, okay, guys, let's keep it fresh. Let's keep it fun.
Step it up.
Yeah.
Nice. So what can you tell us about what's coming next? Is there anything that you can tell us? If not, we'll pass the.
Yeah. So think
we got a new collab coming with EDC.
Yeah, new collab with EDC. Yep. So that will be. Oh, I don't know if they're gonna get. I don't know if I can leak the flavor. Hold on, let me check my text here. All right, I guess I can tell you the flavor. All right, so we went with a cherry mascarpone. And I know cherry is a tough flavor for you, right? Cough medicine versus delicious. But
I do trust Darby though, as far as like his cherry selection.
Yeah, it's cherry mascarpone, and
like a cherry cheesecake type of vibe, right?
Cherry mascarpone pie, yeah.
That very nice. Epic. That's also very different. Again, this is one of the biggest reasons why I love you guys is great formula, great guys, great branding, different flavors that are actually done well instead of, oh, I'll just have this flavor one time just to try it. It's like you get a little addicted to the crazy ones.
This one's gonna be like this one could totally be a daily drinker. So it's not like,
I can see that.
Not like super rich, but it like definitely hits the notes that I think people want, which is like that nice tart cherry with this like core. Like you almost want to chew it, but it's not like lingering. I want that next step. I want that next sip. That's the vibe we're always going for. You want the next sip.
I love it.
And as it warms, like that's the other thing too with our flavors. As they warm, like this is going to taste good. All of our flavors are going to taste good, ice cold up to room temperature. That's intentional.
That's actually something I never thought about, but it is true. There are a lot of energy drinks out there, even some of my favorites like Ghost, where if it sits a little bit too long, then it starts to taste different, not the same, versus you guys, I guess it's the same way all the way through. And that's actually a really cool little piece of attention to detail.
Yeah, they won't, when they warm, they get longer.
Okay.
On the tongue, but generally, they like, it sounds so weird. It sounds pretentious, so I hope it's not coming across that way. But
no, it totally isn't. The thing is, if you're doing something cool and different, scream it from the mountaintops. You guys did this.
Yeah, it's like the whole like airing out of wine. No, that's too much. That's too much.
It's like a fine wine energy drink.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, it's just we again like it's intentional. We know I'm a slow drinker, so that was part of it. Steve's a slow drinker, so
it's all about it.
Intentional steps.
Hell yeah. What are your favorite flavors?
I grabbed key lime pie. I'm back in love with the blueberry cake after like the V4. I love them apples. Orange squeeze. So I grabbed one yesterday. I had an orange squeeze, and it's like Fanta orange, man. I like it. It's like a good orange soda. What's the other one there? I like Winterberry. I thought it was good. I like the Spider Bite.
Spider Bite was so good. I got mad at myself for not buying more of those.
Yeah. The purple pineapple's good too. I like the tarts.
Yeah. I'm a tart person too. I'm a sour person too. I love sour energy drinks. If I were to create an energy drink, it'd probably be like a lemonade puckery type thing or like a sour.
What about a potential flavor? Misfit, over the top. It'll be over the top. It'll just be like this pucker that
just straight sour, just like you drank crushed up warheads. Sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Guaranteed to give you acid reflux.
That's right. Yeah. Instant GERD. Have fun.
Awesome. Where do you want Misfit to be within the next 3 to 5 years?
So we want to nail the East Coast. I would say really great saturation of the East Coast. this year, next year, and maybe start to get into another market. So I would say this year, like new market, and then 3 years, really be in a space that we've got some good national footprint. And now we're getting into the fun work with our like partners, right? So
Yeah.
the other thing we want to do, right? So we love influencers, but we really like these. I like the niche influencer pack, right? I think
Yes.
they're all grinding and working so hard to break into this like secret algorithm
Yes. I'll
and
just bash my head against the wall all day long.
and it's like all these people are doing such cool things and they're doing it their own way, which is totally on brand. So it's like we just want to lean into that much grander scale, right? So like right now we're able to do it with a few people. Like I would love to be able to do it with more people and actually have that whole program managed by someone who's not me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. I love it, but I just can't keep up with it. As it networks and scales, like that's really, we want to be so like the grassroots, the organic growth. That's what we're going after.
Yeah.
Not,
Social media is such a great place. It can
yeah.
be a terrible place, but it can be a phenomenal place for brands to grow. I think that like I used to work for a gym and they never wanted to post anything on social media. And I was like, guys, this is such a terrible mistake.
Yeah.
Like you have to, it's like people who were back in the 90s who refused to think that the internet was going to take storm or like Google wasn't going to be a thing. And now all of a sudden they're left in the dust. It's like you have to roll with the times.
And I think the other thing is that like authenticity too, right? So
Yeah,
like
that's so important.
it's the authentic like content creator that's interesting or life, and not just your life on, not your life, but your life. Like that's what's
Yes.
interesting. The core of you is what's interesting, not and I understand we all have a persona, but like the core of you is interesting enough. The desire to create the persona because of any insecurity or any doubt in how cool you actually are, that's the part where we're trying to move past. And
Yeah.
like vision, mission, that's the misfit. Move past that. You're good as you are, as
Yep.
long as you're not a POS. Like, but
That's beautiful. I love that because I think so many people struggle with trying to be this person that's always happy or whatever on social media. And it's just show the journey. That's the beauty
know
of
the
it.
journey. That's the beauty of what you're doing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's the authenticity, man. It's you're not going to get it right all the time, and that's fine.
Yeah. That's part of it. Again, it's, I'm sure building a business, you're going to fail more times than you succeed. And that's where you learn and grow.
Yep, that's where the growth lives. 100%.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
I am giving you a rose-colored sunglasses on this one, but I think at the core that's the belief that. But you know, again, there are times where we bang our heads against the walls. What is going to unlock the next step? And we toil and toil until we make some progress.
Yeah. Again, that's literally what it's all about. And especially in such a market where there's so many other brands out there and so many different people. And I think you guys are doing it right. And if you continue to do unique to you, then you'll be fine. And that's what I think about always when it comes to creating content and pushing my business and stuff. It's if I just remain true to myself, then it'll always be okay.
Yeah. I love you have a raw when you know you have a raw sense to like the grind because it's hard work that you're doing. And I think both Steve and I see that come through in the content. So it's not like this like it's not like a facade.
Right.
It's authentic and real. And I think that's what draws us to certain people.
Awesome. I love it. Now, before I let you go, I have one last question. If there's somebody listening to this who's I want to start something, whether it be a brand or an idea or something, what would you tell that person?
Don't do an energy drink. No, that's not true. I think like success is because of what foundation you have, right? So there's a base of skill set you have to have. And so there's some, call it table stakes that you have to meet. But if you have those things, right, I think it's setting your vision and mission and who and what you want to be, because that should be your North Star for your decision making. And then, God, you have to admit you don't know anything really, and take the nuggets of experience from others and fold that in.
That's so true. You have to like literally drop your ego. and just
have to
be a beginner, then be okay with it. Be okay with sucking at something.
Yeah. So I had a conversation with a business partner the other day, and I'm like, pretend I don't know anything about this business. How would you explain it?
That's what I think about when I'm making content about like supplements or energy drinks. If somebody has no idea, never took a supplement in their whole life, how can I help them understand why this could be beneficial for them or why it might not be?
And then be grateful.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have to be grateful for the experience that they're sharing with me, because they had to toil to get to that experience and that knowledge base. Mm-hmm. Receiving something from them. So those types of interactions are not transactions, but there is value being exchanged, right?
Yeah. So. 100%. Now, where can people find Misfit Energy?
Yeah, you can go to our website. They can order online. They can go to Energy Drink City, obviously. I think you might have a code. I think others might have a code.
Yeah. My code is always in the show notes for anybody listening.
Yeah. We generally don't do codes in exchange for reviews. Again, we don't want people to feel like it's biased.
Yep. All of my reviews are 100% non-biased towards Misfit. Yeah. It's really fucking good.
If it's not good, we want to hear about it.
Yeah,
right?
You want the feedback. Like what I said with the blueberry cake, I was like, it's like the best blueberry, but I'm missing the cake. So I'm excited to review the next version to see if I got more cake.
Very good.
Awesome. So Energy Drink City, misfitenergy.com, and then you guys are in some select retailers where?
Yeah, so we have a store locator on the website.
Oh, nice.
Generally Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts. One sole satellite store out in New York that we not sure how we got there.
Is it like a random bottega in the city, or is it out in Long Island?
No, it's like way out, like Canada, or
it's like close to Canada.
Like Western New York. I don't know if they call that upstate New York or left state New York. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm from New York and I don't even know what they call it.
Yeah. And then we're working on a few things so we might be showing up in other states coming up.
Nice. So, I'm excited. Yeah. I can't wait till the day when I walk into a gas station and I see a Misfit.
Yeah, I love it. And like I said, if any listeners know distributors and they want to connect us, we do have a broker fee program. So there is a finder's fee that we would entertain and a brokerage fee.
So see, you can help Misfit spread, and you can.
There's the carrot.
There's the carrot dangling at the end of the string. Awesome. I hope everybody enjoyed this episode. Go check out Misfit Energy. I'll put all the information that Tom talked about down below, and go out and do one thing that's going to take you one step closer to where you want to be.